We start recording. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining tonight's call. Thank you for doing this with me again tonight. I'd like to appreciate everyone for joining. Please kindly confirm that I'm audible and my slide is visible. Somebody confirm that I'm audible and my slide is visible.
You are audible and the slide is visible.
Thank you very much. I welcome you to this second half of the year 2026, as well as the third quarter of 2026. It's been an amazing journey from the first quarter, from January to March, April to June, and here we are, July to September, the third quarter, and the second half of the year. We've been taking this journey one step at a time, and the last quarter we ended reviewing our journey so far, and it's critical at this point to look at this subject, because building without leading is taking yourself alone on a journey. You have to look back and look around you and see how you are creating momentum and you are creating legacy. And this is what today's class is about, and what this third quarter is about. And I welcome you, because it's going to be a pivotal to what we have been building since the year began. Thank you for joining. Today we are quickly looking at this subject before we open the floor for contributions. I'd like you to prepare your mind because this is very, very crucial. Okay, you're welcome to this another live session, life transforming session. And this quarter 3, we are looking at leadership development and influence building. Leadership development and influence building, because every great future begins with effective leadership. Effective leadership, whether you desire to be an entrepreneur, you desire to be a professional, a minister, a parent, a nation builder, leadership is not optional, it is essential. And it will interest you to know that you lead every day in every sphere of life. Wherever you find yourself, somebody is looking up to you. But so many people think about leadership as receiving a title. But leadership is something bigger than a title. In fact, leadership is not a title. Leadership begins the day we decide to take responsibility for our own life. The day you decide that you are taking responsibility for your own life, leadership begins from there. Because your greatest assignment, you must remember, is not to lead people first, but it is beginning to lead yourself first. So leadership begins the day we decide to take responsibility for our own life, owning our decisions, our thoughts, and our habit, our actions. That is when leadership truly begins. That's why tonight we're looking at this crucial, we're examining these 3 fundamental truths, which is leadership begins with self-leadership. Leadership begins with self-leadership. Leadership, character, integrity, and consistency. And the third one that we're looking at today is servant leadership principles. These are fundamental, and we'll dive into it right away. Now, when we talk about leadership, just like I earlier highlighted, leadership begins with self-leadership. And what is this self-leadership? Ability to direct your thoughts, your emotions, your habit, your choices, and actions towards a meaningful purpose without needing constant supervision. The day you grow to an extent where you own your emotions, you own your thoughts, you own your habits, you own your choices, you own your actions, you are responsible. The day you tell yourself, I take responsibility for 24 hours of my life, that's the day you begin to lead yourself. The day you wake up and say, yes, every person on the earth has 24 hours. And I cannot blame another person for my own 24 hours. God gives us equally time. But the ability to manage that time is what brings us into self-leadership. Don't forget your thoughts, emotions, habit, choices, which leads to the actions that we exhibit on daily basis. Ability to own these sequences makes us to begin to lead ourselves. We call self-leadership. Now, this means managing ourselves before managing others, keeping promises to ourselves, taking responsibility instead of making excuses, and choosing discipline over comfort. We cannot lead others successfully without leading ourselves well. And one of the things that we do to hurt ourselves unknowingly without knowing and hurting our conscience is not keeping our promises to our own self. We can, we can tell others what to do, but can we tell ourselves what to do and follow through? That is self-leadership. Ability to keep promise to yourself. Some people do not trust themselves. And that is the basis why they cannot meet up with the things they have set to do in life. Some people set goals, but they can never meet it. Some people lay down things that, for instance, New Year resolution. Before you get to before you get to Valentine in February, so many people have forgotten theirs, and they return back to what? To default position. They return back to default position of what they used to be, of what they used to do. As we go forward, you get so leadership is taking responsibility instead of making excuses. The day a man stops making excuses, then that person begins to lead. Choosing discipline over comfort. The day you decide to choose discipline over comfort or doing things that is convenient, leadership is discipline. And as we begin to explore these subjects, we're going to see further what we're looking at. Now, every leader leads three things first. Every leader leads three things first. Number one is the mind. And everything starts in the mind. This is very, very crucial. Everything starts in the mind. That is why you see great people. They continue to invest in their mind. They continue to invest in their mind. You can never see anybody that is truly wealthy, influential, and rich without this first investment, because this is where it begins from. This is where it begins from. It is the set of mind and beliefs that you have that propels you into achieving anything in life. What is the difference between a billionaire and a millionaire? His mindset. What drives them? They don't have two heads. No millionaire and billionaire has two heads. Elon Musk is not different from me and you, whether the skin is white or whatever we may call it. But what is the difference between you and the person and the next person that you are admiring? Is the mindset. Is the mindset. What is the mindset advantage, knowledge advantage that the great people has equipped their mind with is what set them apart. That person you are envying, that is doing well, that is getting extraordinary results, that is doing greatly in a career in whatever field or he or she may be, is that the person knows something that you don't know. So your thinking determines your decision. Your decision determines your action. Great leaders intentionally feed their minds with the right information because today's thoughts becomes tomorrow's reality. Great leaders, there are some information that you will have now that if you are rightly positioned, your level will change 360 degrees financially, depending on the aspects that you're looking at. Our mentor used to say that before anything becomes or before anything appears in the news, it has already become obsolete. The value has already, some other people have already taken the value. Before you see anything, any good thing on newspaper, they already finished it. The one on newspaper is for the poor masses. So what are we to do? We have to continually feed our mind on daily basis. That's why sometimes at quarterly, we read a book to change our mindset, to work on our mindset. That is where it all begins. There is nothing anybody can achieve in life to the level, that is above their mindset. Every result you are getting today is as a result of your mindset. That's why in closing our last session, I explained to us that first and foremost, we have to be in a certain rooms, certain communities, certain engagements. You have to meet with certain people to the extent, why do you need to mix with people that are, higher in mindset, that are achieving great results, so that you can copy their mindset. You don't need to, you don't need to invent the wheel. You can copy genius. You can copy genius. You don't need to invent the wheel. There is nothing new under the sun. One of the history of America today is that America has the highest millionaires and billionaires in the world. Why? Because they have a system of learning. They have coaches. They have all manner. They have life partner. They have financial financial planners. They have all manner. They have different mentorship platforms. Now, when you go into such platforms, it becomes impossible for you not to be rich, not to be a millionaire. They have such kind of platforms. So today is a time to review our mindset. Ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind every day? Your mind, your eyes gate to your mind, your feeling, your body gate to your mind, your ears, what you are hearing, what are you seeing, what are you reading, what are you watching? These are gateway to your mind. Mind it. Mind it. That's number one. Every leader leads with three things first. Number two is your habit. One of the options, every leader leads with three things. Your habit. Success is rarely built by one big decision. Success is built through consistent daily habits. It is not the day you enter universities that you become a graduate. This issue of mindset is very, very crucial. Now, let's paint a picture. Somebody enters into the university to study law. Another person enters universities to study medicine. Both of them went through the primary school, went through the secondary school, they gained admission and enter into the university. It may possibly be the same university. But prior to their entry into the same university, they do not have the knowledge of law. They might have learned some things in the elementary school. Probably in the secondary school, they have offered some courses that touch a bit on law and what have you. Probably they may have even been reading some subjects concerning medicine, their interest. But when you give these two set of people a space of 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, you begin to hear them being called Dr. Francis, Dr. This, lawyer, barrister, Tosin. Why? Because they give themselves to that body of knowledge. Their mindset are being informed with another kind of knowledge for that number of years. They give their mindset, they open up their mind to learn. They did assignments, they did exercises. They begin to read, they give themselves to that body of knowledge for those number of years. Now, they are now being certified that to some extent, they know these things. They know law. They know how to operate on people. Now, as they do the theory aspect, they do the practical aspect. And at the end of the day, they are named Dr. This, Barrister This. What happened? Knowledge. Over the years, they have been able to form the habit of learning that course of action that now made them to be an authority in that field, to be called a doctor or a lawyer. I hope I'm still audible. I'll be asking for feedback so I wouldn't be lost out. Can someone confirm I'm still audible? Hello there. Are we together?
Yes, you are still audible. You are still audible.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. So, what are we talking about today? Your habits. That's number two. Success built through consistent daily habits. Now, leaders develop habit. Now, these are the things that leaders do. They read, they study, they read, they learn, they plan, they pray, they save, they exercise, they reflect, they keep commitments because your habits are introducing you long before you arrive. In the realm of the physical, they said how you are, how you dress becomes what? How you are addressed. But when you talk about in the realm of influence, it is your habit that introduce you. Influence is not built in a day. Appearance is just appearance can be in a day based on what people say about you. But when you're talking about influence, being a leader, it takes time because your habit will continue to introduce you. Reading. What do you do before you sleep? Did you plan the next day? We are in the weekend. Do you plan for the week ahead? What are your options? What are your schedules? What do you exercise? Do you have time of reflection? Do you have time where you sit down and thought about the work you have done from Monday to Friday? Now this is Saturday, Sunday. Can you take some time and for yourself and say, for myself, I'm taking these 2 hours. I'm taking these 3 hours. Let me use this time to plan myself. Let me give some time for myself for the purpose of planning, review, exercising. What am I going to do? Because if you plan well, if you do all these things well, you'll find out that you begin to have productive week. You begin to have productive day. You begin to have productive month. That is the reason why we encourage people to have budget for the month so that you wouldn't be running through the month like somebody that is looking that has missed his or her way. So please, your habit is very, very important. And the next one is your time. We've talked about this. Everyone receives 24 hours given by God. God is impartial. He allocates 24 hours to everybody. Difference lies in how everyone invests their own. Everyone. The difference lies in how everyone invests their own. Leaders don't ask, how do I spend time? They ask, how do I invest time? Time invested wisely becomes influence tomorrow. 24 hours to everybody. What do you do with yours? How do you strategize your own? How do you work your own? And this is very, very crucial. So when we're moving to the second aspect of this teaching, which has to do with character, integrity, and consistency. Remember, we are looking at what? Leadership, identity, and responsibility. And we have 3 parts that we are looking at today, which is what? Leadership begins with self-leadership. And the second part we're looking at is character, integrity, and consistency. Now, look at this. Talent will open door. You have seen so many people, if they sing, if they display their gift, wow, people stand, innovation of what they are. Such individuals have displayed. The character keep those doors that those talents open. It is character that keeps them open consistently. Knowledge may open opportunities, just like we've said. Say this man, wow, is a good lawyer, it's a good barrister, it's a good doctor. People may even be refer people to them, but it is what integrity that sustains such opportunities. And we look at them one after the other now. Character is who you are when nobody is watching. Who are you when nobody is watching you? Because we can deceive other people outside there, but we cannot deceive ourselves. To you, yourself, you cannot deceive yourself because you know yourself and yourself knows you. Reputation is what people think about you, but the character is what you truly are. It's character that is what we truly are. And that's why we should never sacrifice character for temporary gain. Character is who you are. Who am I when nobody is watching me without supervision? Character. Who am I when nobody is watching me? Integrity. What is integrity? Words and action agree together. People know if you say yes, yes, that is yes. People know if you say no, that is no. You are not bending because you please some people and you displease some people. Integrity means your words and your actions agree every time. Your words and your actions agree every time. That's integrity. So if you say, I'll be there, the people trust you. Yes, you're going to be there. If you are not going to be there, it will not be that when it is that time, you now start calling that, oh, I will not be there. No, you promised to be there 8 a.m. Something came up at 7. You should be able to call. Oh, please, I promised to be there by 8, but right now, this and this and this and come. Can I take extra 30 minutes, 1 hour to be there? So people, oh, wow, be there. If you make a commitment, keep to it. People don't follow perfection, but they follow credibility. Credibility is a currency. Just like trust is a currency, credibility is a currency. That's why you see great people, they prefer their name. They love their good name rather than money, fame, and all the likes. And that is one of the things that is missing in our world today. Trust is the greatest currency of leadership. Once broken, it takes a long time to rebuild. Integrity. Your words and your actions agree together. That's the simple definition of integrity. Your words and your actions agree together. Simple definition of integrity. So what are we looking at again? Integrity. The third one in this series is what? Consistency. Consistency. Now, if you look at the world that we live in today, so many people's failure is associated with lack of consistency. Because success does not come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. A motivational day cannot build a great life. Motivation is good, but motivation is short-lived. The lifeline of motivation is very short. That is not dependable. Success does not come from what you do occasionally. Success comes from what you do consistently. Many people start well, but finishing well is very difficult. Very few finishes well. So leadership is doing the right thing repeatedly, even when nobody applauds, when nobody clap for you, when nobody say well done, when nobody say you are doing well, but doing the right thing all the time, irrespective of who is applauding you, irrespective of who is seeing you. That is what leadership is all about. Leadership is doing the right thing repeatedly when nobody sees you, when nobody applauds you. So we cannot build our lives on motivation. Now, what are the three qualities that we must, each of us, we must look at, that every leader builds or must build? Three qualities every leader must build: honesty, humility, responsibility. These qualities attract opportunities naturally. Check out for somebody. You want to favor somebody, check out. If you have these three qualities in that person, you will naturally be drawn to such person to favor them. Naturally, because these three qualities, they are magnet of opportunities, magnet of favor. People begin to favor you and prefer you, or prefer to do business or do things with you, because they know that you are honest. They know that you're humble, and they know that you take responsibility. If you say yes, it's yes. If you say no, it's no. And this is what great leaders do. And that's why in this community, we cannot afford to be different. We cannot afford to be like the world. We cannot afford to be like others. But we must afford to be different. We must afford to be different from the society, what other people view, life to be. The last one we're looking at today is servant leadership. Servant leadership principles. We must understand this, that the greatest leaders are servant first. Have you ever known any leader who is not a servant first? Then such person is not truly leaders. It's not really a leader. There is nobody in politics. There is nobody that has ever had great influence that is not a leader. Because leadership is not about control. It is about contribution. When somebody, begin to make contribution, meaningful contribution to the lives of other people, And how do you make contribution to the life of other people? Making sure that what? Anybody around you, their lives get better, not bitter, not worse. Leadership is not about being important. It's not you. It's not you being the boss or everybody serving you, everybody answering, answering you, pleasing you, praising you. It's about making others important. How do you know that you are a great leader? When the people around you are becoming better because you are there. When the people around you are better because they know you, they meet you. One of my life principles is that what I will never meet somebody will never depart from me and not be better. I must offer an encouragement. I must offer words of commendation. I must offer something that will make you to be important, to feel important, even if that's what I can give to you. Why? True leaders make other people better, touch lives. So the question today is that to ask yourself, whose life am I making better? Because we have people all around us. What about our children? What about our spouses? What about our colleagues, our co-workers? Have you ever reached out to them? Do you know that even correcting people in love with the purpose of making them better is leadership? You are already influencing that person to become better. And you cannot be influencing somebody to become better, and you also will not be becoming better. If you are in an environment where you cannot influence somebody to become better, then that is a wrong environment for you. So great leaders, they solve problems. Great leaders, they encourage people. Great leaders develop others. Great leaders listens before speaking. Great leaders influences. Their influence grow when people, your influence, for instance, grow when people know that you genuinely care for them. The strong leaders don't ask. When you become valuable to people, you naturally influencing them. Your influence increases naturally when you become valuable. When people see you as a valuable asset to them, you see people coming to meet you. I sit in a space where I serve a lot of people, and everywhere I get to, people around me, and it's deliberate because everybody goes towards where they get value. If people are running away from you, please check yourself. Are you offering value? Are you treating people well? You must not be the head of that department for people to know you that, this man supposed to be the head of the department, or this one supposed to be here. I like you to know that people knows you by what you do. So become better by making other people better. That is how to live. Become better by making other people better. So people grows when people know you genuinely. Your influence grows when people know that you genuinely care for them. Ask yourself, how many people am I helping today? When you become valuable to people, your influence grows naturally. So I'd like to ask you these few questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd like you to rate yourself in this. Do I keep promises to myself? Remember, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will believe in you. Even if they claim they believe in you, it's just hearsay. Am I disciplined with my time? Can people trust my words? Do I finish what I start? Some people are good starters, but bad finishers. Am I continually learning? Am I positive about life? Am I influencing people rightly? We must ask ourselves these sincere questions because growth begins with honest self-evaluations. So what are we to do today? Have a responsibility challenge. As I round up today, have a responsibility challenge. What is your responsibility challenge? Just tell yourself, you can pick a week, you can pick a month, you can pick 2 weeks. That between now and next Saturday, for instance, next 7 days, choose one responsibility you've been postponing. Choose one responsibility that you've been postponing. Complete that particular responsibility without excuses. Complete it. You could be reading a chapter of a book on daily basis. For instance, there's a book we're reading in my community. I'm on the last chapter now. On this last chapter, has 20 pages. I've read that last chapter now for about 2 days. I've not been able to finish it, but I'm committed every day between 5 a.m. to 5:40. I must read at least 3 to 4, 5 pages. That one is gone. Then I put my thoughts. I put what I learned down for review. The next day, the same time, I do the same thing on daily basis, consistently. What is that thing that I've been having excuse about? Commit to it. Now, this does not come by accident. It comes by consistency. It comes by commitment. Because if you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead your family, you cannot lead your friends, you cannot be separated. So choose that one thing that you want to take as a challenge, even if it's reading a chapter of a book or creating your weekly plan. Today is Saturday. How are you going to spend today? We still have time. Everybody has 24 hours. Some people sleep by 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Some people sleep by 9. Some people sleep by 10. Some people sleep by 11. Some people sleep by 12 and wake up by 5. It depends on you. But don't use the whole of your life to sleep. Have a time you allocate for your own self. That for myself, 2 hours out of 24 hours. And you schedule it how you want to spend that 2 hours. Are you going to read? Are you going to plan for the week? Are you going to plan for the month? Do you have any engagements you want to get yourself in? So take this responsibility. Start your savings habit. Tell yourself in the next, 7 days, I want to start this. Tell yourself, I want to repair that broken relationship. That person that I feel is like a God-sent person to me that is telling me the truth, that want to guide me to something truthful. Is it to complete that unfinished project? Is he waking up earlier? Is he learning a new skill? One extra new skill. Why? Leadership grows through responsibility. Responsibility is the price we pay for greatness. So as I round up today, my closing charge, I'd like you to know that never wait for permission before becoming a leader. Lead your thoughts, lead your attitude, lead your finances, lead your habits, lead your family, lead your career, lead your purpose. Leadership is not about position. It is about influence. Take the lead to become better. Take the lead. Never leave leadership for somebody else to do for you. Take the lead and influence. So today, make a decision that your life will become an example worth following. Because the world is waiting, not for another person with a title, but for a person with character, discipline, and genuine influence. The world is waiting. No matter what you do, life has a way of recording the things that we do. And I used to tell people, one of the principles that guides me is that anywhere I am, two things are always on my mind. People will remember me first, and people remember negativity first before positivity. People will remember you first for the problem you created or the solution you provided, the problem you solved or the one you created. So decide today, anywhere I am, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to leave a lasting impression in the heart of people around me and all around me that I am a solution provider, that I influence positively to make life, organization, and the people around me better. Why? People are your greatest asset. There's nothing anybody is looking for in this life that is not tied to people. And I admonish you today, keep growing. And thank you for listening. I am so delighted for this session today. Thank you for listening. And right now, I want to welcome contributions and additions to what we have looked at today. Remember where we started from? Leadership, identity, and responsibility. So I'd like to open the floor right now I want to welcome contributions, questions, in case you have questions. We're ready to answer it, and all of us here will answer it together. I hope someone has picked something today from this session, and I do hope so that you put it to work. Yes, the phone lines can be open right now. Please share your thoughts with us and let us also hear from you. Please share your thoughts with us. Share your thoughts with us right now. Who is going first? Why is everybody quiet? Share your thoughts with us. I should start calling names one after the other. What has stood in for you? What do you think is missing in our environment today in terms of leadership? So many people has mistaken leadership to a political position. But from what we have looked at today, leadership is not a title. It is ability to make other people's life better. So please, what has stood it for you? What has stood out for you from this session? I'd like somebody to share before we round up today. Please open your mics and share. Okay, yes. Daniel, please go ahead. Godwin Daniel. Unmute your mic and speak.
Yeah, good evening, sir. And thank you for this opportunity again. So, what stood out for me in this session was especially the part of personal leadership, because I think that's an area I've been trying to improve. That's an area I've been trying to improve. And one thing I discovered, especially that part of when you said about integrity, are we, when we make commitments, because on my own personal terms, I've been inconsistent with my commitments. And I try to I or review or change my commitment almost all the time. No stable commitment. You can just change maybe depending on the emotions, depending on maybe I just learned something new, just want to try it. Whereas I need to just focus on a previous commitment, just believing that everything will align at the end. So I think I learned from that to just find a stable commitment to just follow. Because I'm that kind of person that if I see something new, I'll want to try it and it may affect my former commitment. And I just keep reviewing, and at the end of everything, I'm not making any progress. So by God's grace, I'm going to start to just stick to one commitment and believe God that it will work out for good at the end. So thank you, sir.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Yes. Who want to share more? Please unmute your mic and speak. What has stood out for you from what we have looked at today? What do you want to contribute? What is operational in your area? Yes, Angus, please. Your mic is unmuted. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Good evening, Coach Sam.
Thank you,
And
sir.
once more, thank you for always being consistent in the group and in the promise of life-changing mood that we all sought out for. I believe in doing good. You're also doing it for yourself. If you do good, you do it for yourself. So, for me, what stood out for me right from the time you published the topic is that leadership is all about. It's also, let me not say it's not all about. It's also part of leadership. Is all about is you leading yourself rightly, and I think doing good and having integrity, matching your words, your actions together, and ensuring you influence people to also be better and do good. That's leadership. That's what stood out for me. Then I want to react also in posing a question. Based on these characters and qualities we've identified as what is essentially leadership, how do we match it with what we are seeing today, Nigeria as a case study? And it seems the most how will I put it this way? The tested persons find their way to leadership positions. And at the end of the day, it's also for me a reflection of the wider society. So are we really getting what we want, or are there things we need to start doing to change the narrative? He just called me for a concern. I don't know if I actually placed my question very well. Because how do we relate these good things with the reality we're seeing in our environment when it comes to leadership for service? I think that's where it falls. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, sir, for first for the contribution and second for the question. That was a very pertinent question at this time, in our nation and our environment. Now, I will respond this way. One of my mentors was asked about the economy of the country. And somebody was saying that there's no money in this country. There's no money in this country. He told the person that the person is lying. They have been stealing money since over 60 years, and the money has not finished. And the truth of the matter is this: money does not leave the earth. All the monies in this world is in this world. Angels have not carried them away. The spirit has not carried them away. It's still in circulation. So it is better you say you don't have money than to say there's no money in Nigeria. And this analogy I want to relate with your question. In this country today, as a case study, the first thing we need to do is to have our own, what do you call it now? Our own personal community, or I can call it our own personal economy. Because that's where it starts from. We cannot change the world. We have to start from ourselves. And in this kind of case, we start from our immediate family. That's why the wise man said, charity begins at home. An armed robber outside there today grew as a baby that was expected for 9 months. And after 9 months, that baby was given back to, and everybody was thinking probably the best would be a doctor, whatever. Every time I see an elderly person help me or open gate for me to drive past, and I used to ask myself this question, that when this person was growing up in primary school, he never knew that when he's 70 years or 60 years, he will be a gate man somewhere. So what is my own answer here? First, start from your immediate environment, which is your family. We cannot change Nigeria. There's no human being that can come and say, yes, I've just changed Nigeria. Never. We start from ourselves. If I change myself and I work on my children, work on my spouse, that influence alone begin to create an aura, an envelope around the people that are within my circle, by extension to my friends, because friends are people that have to share the same values, beliefs together. So by the time you work on your family, your friends are worked upon and they have the same kind of mindset of positivity, of change, of patriotism, and the likes. Your influence is growing gradually, and before you know it, it spreads. It spread. In Nigeria today, we have people of high level of integrity. We have people who are leaders. The only thing that is the challenge is because these people does not have platform to mentor people because it's not encouraged. You have to deliberately want to learn. I remember when I started in, I think that was when I was 2022 or 23, I began looking for deliberately communities to join. That's when I met Mr. Ugochukwu Omeogo. That's when I met many great people, both online and offline. I began to join community. It cost me money. But because I want to separate my environment, my personal environment from Nigeria environment, I have to take that steps. And it's helping me today. So what is my advice? It cannot change whatever that is happening in Nigeria presently. cannot be changed by one person. These are a result of 60 years of decadence in leadership. Nigeria is one of the best countries anywhere in the world. Nigeria is rich, is blessed with resources, human resources, capital, natural resources. Nigeria is one of the best countries in the world with the best people. But I tell you the truth, some people look at Nigeria as the worst because of what they see physically. But the best is in Nigeria. So create your own environment, create your own system, because gradually, things will be changing. It doesn't matter what we are saying right now. By the time everybody starts contributing their own quota, their light, your light is shining, my light is shining. All of us on this call today, our lights are shining. Before you know it, you begin to see that is how communities develop. That is why cities developed. A city today was a village tomorrow. Somebody took interest in that village and began to develop it. And now we have Abuja City, we have Lagos City, we have Port Harcourt, we have so many other places. Okay, I hope I have been able to answer in a very little way to your question, sir.
Yeah, you've actually given an insight. I'm still bothered because I look at it as, from what you said, is an organic process. Where is the place of mind? I'm just, how will I say, reasoning aloud, and we're just interacting for the evening. So, where
Yes.
is the place of mind when we really know in our mind, we really know what is good, but our actions are busy doing a different thing? How do we, and they will say that because we are not peculiar, and I don't think we need to, because for me, what I will reason the way you put it is an organic process that takes time. And it means that this our generation is not going to witness anything good. I mean, because if, as you said too, there are a lot of good people, there is no platform. Let's not even go there. But the issue is, how are we really going to, even if there's no platform, can't we create platform? And also, I see it, I'm just looking at leadership and in service in our case study, our nation, our dear nation, Nigeria, uh, we see things, we know what is in the mind, but our actions are doing differently. So it bothers me. We may not really have all the answers, but I think we need to keep asking questions and keep searching for solution that can be a blueprint for everybody to interpret. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. You have spoken the mind of what is happening, and we cannot deny the truth. We cannot deny the facts of what is going on. But I believe all of us here we are Christians. What is happening is a case of light against darkness. And I used to ask people, somebody that you want to change, the environment and the narratives. First and foremost, elections are coming up. How many Christians, for instance, are going to be ready to vote? How many people are not going to collect money to vote? How many people are not, how many people even have their PVCs ready to vote? Because the change that we are actually looking for, it begins from us. And somebody will say, I know, but we are not going to vote. It doesn't count. If your vote doesn't count, why are they campaigning? Why is all the stress campaigning and ensuring that people vote? Why are people being given heavy sums of money to be able to come out and vote? That's to tell you that it counts. It doesn't matter how you look at it. So our nation today is in a state where, we need decisiveness in everything that we do. It's a lot of issue and it's wide and it's elaborate. In fact, if we take up that topic, we're not going to leave here today. But there's hope for us. There's hope for young people, so to say. And we need to come out there and demonstrate our own rights. If you look at one of the challenges I was sharing with a colleague of mine is that You know, how many of how many of the Christian faith are ready to come out to be, to stand in, to come out to be, to represent? How many Christians are going to being a councillor or a chairman of a local government? How many are coming out there? So it's now that awareness are getting, a bit better. You now see young people of meaningful, of a good mindset that want to come out there. But before now, everybody leaves it for the same set of people that have been ruling over the years. That's why you see a senator that has been a senator for for the 10th time, for the 12th time, you know. And so the challenges are there, but there is hope if we continue to exercise our own duty and add prayer with it. The God factor is there. Okay, we cannot change in a day, we cannot change in a month, we cannot even change in 8 years. That's why 4 years of our current president, we know what is happening. But I believe strongly that things are changing internally. People are getting more aware. People are getting more knowledge. People are getting more platform. Just like I said, the mentors are there, but they are not pronounced. There's no platform for pronouncement. You need to deliberately look for them, deliberately, by one collaboration to the other, asking questions because of what you really want. There are platforms, there are mentors on different aspects. There are coaches on different aspects of life that have experience and have gone through that thing that you want to skate through. And don't forget, whatever you're looking for is already a reality in the hand of somebody. You just need to locate that person to be able to assess that reality. Somebody was sharing, I was listening to somebody this morning, and was sharing that all the money you are looking for is already in the pocket of people, of somebody. If you like, it's 1 billion, it's 1 trillion, it's already in pocket of somebody. So that's why I encourage people that, people are doors, people are assets, people are the doors that you need to pass through. That people are your greatest resources, human capital. So there's nothing, everything you ever become, you have to become through people. And that's why we deliberately value people and value things that God brought our way. So I'd like to encourage us today as we round off, without much time again, don't want us to take this too long, that please value relationship, value people, value relationship. You don't know where it can take you to. People are doors. Everything that you ever become, you have to become through people. You can never be an island and be successful. And as a roundup, collaboration and leverage is the new oil well. Collaboration, collaborate with people, leverage opportunities, leverage system, leverage people positively so that we can become better. So that in the next time we are having our next live session by the fourth Saturday, I think that should be the last Saturday of the month, that you will have some kind of testimony to share, that you put this into practice, you take this challenge, you take this responsibility, and this becomes the answer. Value people, respect people, humble yourself so that doors can open for you. The door you are looking for is inside people. Thank you very much. I don't know if anybody still have something to share before we end the recording tonight. Does anybody still have a contribution or a question? Thank you for joining tonight. Olabisi, thank you. Thank you, Jumai. Thank you, Godwin Daniel. Thank you, Mr. Angus. Thank you, Theodora, as always. Thanks for one of my mentors showed face today, Coach Blessing Elena. Thank you. Thank you. And if there is none else, can we end the recording, please?